Hello, this is Johnny. I want to retouch up of the hardware update a little bit, and also talk about if you are planning to do the same thing I'm doing with my project, you could go ahead and get the stub ready, get the SD card ready, and when you order from Adafruit, more likely you're going to get this thing before you will get the card, because the Facebook, the RGM, he's still working on the link, and so it might take a little bit longer for him to get it out there for you to get it. So if you order from Adafruit, you want to get one of this card, and this is for the video of this big screen. Okay, and later on I'm gonna tear this part out, because this is the one that I have that sometimes it work, and most of the time it doesn't work. So I was glad that I was able to get my money back on this one. But I want to open this up and see if they use the same 40 pin. If they use the same 40 pin, I could also use this card and put maybe Raspberry Pi or something in here to replace this. And Adafruit have called the RgR, which is using 2 buttons, and they have a joystick. So I'm thinking about trying to do something like that. Or maybe the RGM, the guy who developed the board, he might be able to help me come up with some kind of small board for this that I could maybe solder myself with the part that he have and make it work. Because I would like to make this little one to also Raspberry Pi. Okay, so if you're watching, let me know. I'm gonna take this part out, and I probably will send him a picture and draw the dimension, the size, and everything. And if he want, I could send him the card so he could look at it and see if he could make one the same size, and use the same port and make it to a Raspberry Pi as well. You know, that's a possibility. Okay, but anyway, we do need to put heatsink on this thing. Okay, and before I do that, I wanted to turn this on to let you see that that to make the sound work, you have to press the start button. Okay, and let me zoom this closer. You can see. So most of the problem is not because of the joystick. Joystick works nice. You have no problem with it. The main problem is the Raspberry Pi. Okay, Raspberry Pi majority are made for PlayStation controller or the Xbox controller, which have a lot of buttons. And all the image you download from arcadepunk.com is set up to do Xbox or PlayStation controller. And so therefore, this kind of button layout, it will not work. You know, this is called the arcade joystick layout, which you will see in the true arcade. So most of this button is not configured the way the other one is configured. So in order to make it work, you have to do some changes. And so with Dreamcast, I have to re-download the Dreamcast emulator. It's called a Reicast, Reicast emulator. I had to re-download that, and I will have that description. I will do a video on that separate, because that download it take a couple hours. So what I'm gonna do is put a heatsink on it, put some kind of fan ball on it, and let it run overnight, and hopefully everything is updated, the package and everything, and then I could reset up the configuration. Because that one is not just a push a button that you could reset it. You have to run a command line, and it will ask you, you know, where's your button, and you push the button, and then you can reconfigure the controller. So that's going to take a long time process, and I find out that this thing, if you deal with Raspberry Pi, you know it needs heatsink, and if you could, you have to put a fan. If not, you have to buy a box that prevent the heat, because Raspberry Pi doesn't function very well if it's overheated. It would just, things just go crazy and doesn't work properly, and system would sometimes, I don't know, reboot itself. Okay. So when you come over here, you want to go to the sound setting, and the sound setting, press B instead of A. Try again. Press star, press select the sound setting, press A, and before it was set in PCM, you wanted to change it to a speaker because we are using the speaker. We are not using the PCM. So you want to change to a speaker, and then you want to change the sound to 100, you know. Now I noticed that by going back to this screen, this go back to 0. I don't know why, but the sound worked fine. Okay, then you just, you know, go back A and just pretty much get out of the system. So press B, there you go. And if you go into the game system, you will let's go to Raspberry Pi. Well, actually, we just, now this emulator, for some reason, I don't know, I don't quite understand why there's two of the NES. I have one up here and one up here, exactly the same. So I don't know why there's two. I don't know, is it because there's a glitch or something? So I might have to log into the system and look at it, and if there is a two folder the same, I might have to delete one because it's showing two of them right now, and they have the same exact game set. So it's pretty cool. You go to each game and it will show you the image, and you can pretty much play anything you want in here. So I like to play Final Fight. Oop, let's go to F. There is a way to go and do this quicker, but I don't remember. Like you could press a button, you know. Alright, let's play one game, and then we're going to open this thing up, and then we're going to put the heatsink, and I wanted to put the fan on it, but that means I have to put some hole in the back. So that will be a next different video. Depend how much, and then there's a lot of stuff I could do with this thing. I could, you know, customize the arcade, you know, put some design on it. Yeah, the guy apologized. He said he forgot to send it to me. So I guess when I order second or third board with him, yeah, it's pretty loud, yeah. I haven't set up the Dreamcast, so once I get it set up, I'll do another video. I'll do another video on Dreamcast. Alright, which one's my button? There you go. Here's my jump. Man, it's the best way to play arcade, man. Love it. I don't worry about the sound, I don't worry about the graphics. It's all good. Let's go. All right. So if you want to save, I believe you press select and save. There you go. Just pause it for now. So if you want to save it, you have to press select and what is this button? The R button. Okay, to save. Select and R. To load the game, you press select and the L to load the game. Okay, to save is select R same time, hold select and then press L to load. That's how you save the game. To get out, you press select and star to get out. Shortcut. There you go. To get out. Okay, so it's pretty cool. And that's part 2, and there's part 3. So there's like 700 games here. So I believe there's a 700 on this game. Oh, I just actually installed the game again. Press A instead of B. Starting the Street Fighter guy, I think. Oh. Sounds great. Everything is good. I don't have to worry about, you know, sound like defective sound, defective this and that, you know. Alright, let's get out of the game. That's not the reason I was there. I don't know. Let me try MAME anyway, because if I remember correctly, it's not too bad of configuring. It's just that you have to, there's like 3 different MAME, and you have to go into, now I do remember if you press the select and Y, you go to the MAME configuration, and that's where you remap your game. So let's try one of the MAME or the RK. Alright, RK, press A. And let's try some of the arcade game, you know, that require more mapping. And I believe there's also a Neo Geo folder for Neo Geo. I want to find the Ninja Turtle or something. Oh, keep on forget, it doesn't do that way. Just hold it, go super fast. There's B, U, C. Going to D now. What they're showing you. And we're gonna go to the Ninja Turtle. Yeah, this one got like a, like, I forgot to look how many games in here. Oh, cool game. So you got all these games that it was not possible before. Now it's all possible. Ninja Turtle style T. There you go. Right there. Alright, let's go in and see if anything happened. If not, I just turn it off. You know, if it gets stuck. I think last time I went into, oh yeah, Dreamcast. That's the one that the button is it's configured very different. So Let's see. Cool. It worked just fine. I was worried too much. It worked fine. The arcade worked fine with the button. Now, if you do run into a problem, I think you press the select and Y button. See that? The select and Y button. And here you could to set up the controller, like right here, controller. Okay. So each one of this. Right now it's using RetroArcade Classic, so maybe the newer version automatically detect it, so you don't have to do this, maybe. But the Dreamcast does, is a pain in the neck for some reason. I still have to, so how do I get out here? B? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna resume the game. But yeah, that's how you will configure all the MAME. So if you, I know there's a lot of different MAME, like MAME 2000, 2003, 2010, so that you have different version, and so far this version right now is working, and this is actually called the alpha version 2.97.42 right here. Okay, so this one right now actually work with this MAME, so I'm gonna have fun playing with this arcade because it's an arcade stick, you know, 6 button, so it's pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to, man, graphic look nice. Jump. Alright, button work. There's only 2 buttons on this, I think. Yep. Yeah. I want to throw them out of the screen. I forgot how you do that. There you go. Come on, do it again. There you go, did it again. Yay! Ah, okay. Come on, do it again. Some people gotta memorize how to do it, and I don't. Not with the lump-chuck one. I think the other one I tend to do it a bit easier. Yeah, killed it. Okay, let me see if I can save this. Yep, same way. Select and this button to save. So I just save it. Cool. Alright, let's get out of here. So it's cool. The game does work. I know somebody asked me to play Ninja Baseball. Maybe I could find Ninja Baseball and play Ninja Baseball for him. Why am I in the S? Oh, because I was in the T. Ninja, start with an N. O-P-Q-N. Here you go. Ninja, N-I. So it's further down. Ninja Baseball. Let's see if we have Ninja Baseball here. Hey, Ninja. Is that it? Ninja Baseball, yep. Yeah, somebody asked me, say, can you play Ninja Baseball on RetroArcade? Now we could. Oh, by the way, those of you asking, I went and confirmed with him. The reason I couldn't tell you the price, I know I'm very good at giving you guys all the price of everything that I purchased, and I put on description. The reason I couldn't give you the price because I got this board for free. You know, the guy said, hey, are you interested in it? And I said, yeah. I mean, I wanted to update this to a RetroArcade, you know. And oh, let's pause. Well, let's start again and pause it for a second. The sound does have some little bit sound kind of, but I guess once you start playing, it's fine. Just when you first started, I noticed the sound is kind of a bit of a glitch. Oh, can't pause it? Shoot. So, save stage. Yep. Alright, let's get out a second. Okay. Alright, what I was saying is that okay. What I was saying is that the board itself is about $50, okay? Just the cost of it. The shipping is depending where you live and all that stuff. So I don't know how that goes. So once he got the site set up, you will know. But yeah, I asked him, say, well, how much will you charge the board? And because people are asking me how much. And so the board itself is $50. Now, if you think about it, this is actually pretty cheap to take this and modify it to an arcade. The reason I say that is because I just went and bought some PiCade. The PiCade itself, it cost me $204. It doesn't have Raspberry Pi. It doesn't have heatsink. It doesn't have the only thing it had was pretty much like this. It comes with a joystick, speaker, and the screen. But it cost me $204. Now, if you were saying, well, that is a 8-inch screen, you know, it's going to cost more. Yes, it will cost more. But that one is fun, you know, to leave it on the table. But if I want to move around, carry it, and take less space, I want something that's more portable. They both have 6 buttons. They both have an arcade stick. But that one have a little bit of a ticking sound. When you click, 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 it have the, you know, sound. So, but to me, this is a good deal. It's like you buy this roughly around $71. It comes with a screen and a joystick. And either way, if you was to build your own, nobody's gonna provide you with the Raspberry Pi. You would have to buy that from Raspberry, you know, that sell it, because they don't come together as a kit unless they're selling you as a kit. And you know, those, whenever they sell you a kit, it's gonna cost you $300 to $400 or sometimes $800 just with everything built in. So to me, it's worth it because you already have one of those. And those of you who like the way this is designed, which I do, because you know, it's a cool mini version of an arcade. And I like the idea that Neo Geo came up with this idea about this joystick. And so, and this company who created the RetroArcade came with the design, and you know, came out where now it's available for you to have this. And now this person came up with the idea to hack this, so you could use the same joystick and just added you know, replace the board in here and use his, and then you tie everything together. So to me, it's worth it to do this. Okay, now enough of the software Raspberry Pi. So Arcade May, I mean not May, but Arcade itself, it seemed to work just fine. But we haven't tested Capcom 1 too. So once I get everything settled down and everything is good, we're going to play more game, and then try to fix more problem with the Raspberry Pi. Now Raspberry Pi, it doesn't matter if you use this version or PiCat, all the images are not created with 6 buttons with 1 joystick or D-pad, what you want to call it. They're all configured with 2 D-pad, I guess 2 analog and 1 D-pad, and 6 to 10 button that you're supposed to have. So to make this to work with like PSP and Nintendo 64 and all that, the higher end game require more button. You will need more button to play those. Now there is a way to map it where you could play Nintendo 64 without all the button, all the whistle and button stuff, because you could use the select button to use as one of the function, like saving right now. You could use that because May require you to have extra buttons, so that's good that we could use select, and this is automatic set up so you could save it, so that's good too. So all kind of there's a lot of but anyway, let me go ahead and shut it down. Press start and go to game quit. Okay, press A, and then I'm going to go ahead and do shut down the system. So what I was saying is that to me this is worth it because it's a small version. Everybody trying to get smaller and smaller on the arcade, but it's hard to make a mini version arcade because there never was before in the past have this kind of joystick, arcade type of joystick. And since Neo Geo, who's the one who started, it brings the new generation of changes to a mini arcade joystick. The only mini arcade joystick you see is those Walmart type, which is the real cheap motion direction type of joystick. It only go up, down, and once you do shutdown, you get white screen, just power off on the back. And it doesn't have the all direction joystick. So those kind of joystick is okay, but I have people who play it all the time, didn't like it. Like the Data East, the biggest problem with Data East mini arcade, the speaker issue and the button issue. Okay. Now, one of the person was asking, does the system indicate the power, how much power the system have? It does have it in the board. Now he said if you use a smoke clear version, you are able to see the indicator of how much power left in the system is on the board. But since I use the black bottom and the white, you won't be able to see it. Okay, you only see one big bright red color inside, but you cannot indicate what is the power have left on the system. So yes, he saw the comment that you guys put when you were asking me. So some of the questions you asked me, go ahead and ask me, because sometimes he will see it and he will text me and let me know. the answer. Yes, I do have this. Yes, it does have that. So he will tell me. So when he tell me, I could tell you guys that it does have it. Now I noticed that this thing is getting hot, even though I was playing the game. It's kind of very warm. Okay, so that's why it's, even though I'm using the latest model of this thing, but it's best to put a heatsink. So I'm gonna unplug the car first, and then I'm gonna unplug the power. This is the power. You guys able to see this so far? Okay, so unplug the power. Okay, and this is the speaker for the sound that go into the speaker. So I'm gonna take that off. And that's the reason why it didn't have sound, because this thing was configured using the HDMI. So it's not using the speaker. So when you change the image is configured based whoever created the image. They create an image with the idea of you gonna plug it into your home TV and play with your handheld joystick. So that's why the game would not work with the portable joystick, even with the PiCat. So the information I'm about to give you will also work on PiCat. Those of you who thinking about buying PiCat because Arcade 1UP is coming out with all this what you call it. I might have to change this cable if it still give me this problem with the flipping. There's a chance I might already bend this cable here. I talked to the guy. Yeah, see, there's a line there. Sometimes this kind of RetroArcade, when you get it, sometimes the cable is good, sometimes cable is not very good quality. And so so if your screen, when you put it on, if your screen tend to like jump, go up and down, like last time you saw it, I had to turn it off. See, it's kind of a little bit kind of bending if you see the light. So I'm thinking about replacing this. I did buy extra cable from this company. So if you want, you might want to order the extra cable just in case, because I know some of you are already pre-ordering stuff. Now this Kippah display is actually spelled Kippah. I call it Kippah with a PPER, but actually spelled AH, and it's a 40 pin. So when you purchase this, it comes with a package. It comes with a power cable. It comes with this cable, and you get to choose the screen. But I thought that by me buying the full package, they're gonna give me instruction how to get the screen to work. But apparently they did not. They do not have any instruction how to do that. So what I did is I contact this RgR, the retro game restore that I bought this car from. He's the one who gave me the information. That's what I upload the Config.txt file. So you want to replace the one that you download the image. If you download the same image I have, this image is pretty cool. I like it. It's very pretty, and the game play well and have a lot of good game. It's called a Super.B+. It's made for RetroArcade 3B+ for the latest Raspberry Pi. This one. So it's made for the 3B+, and it got all the whistle and games. Even have Nintendo DS. So it have a lot of cool game, and there's a lot of stuff that I could tell you, but I don't want to tell you too much because it's going to confuse you or overwhelm you with too much information about Raspberry Pi. But yeah, you could actually add a hard drive and everything to it and have it run, because I have one of my Raspberry Pi that is actually running from 1 terabyte hard drive, which I put in like 800 Nintendo DS because I love Nintendo DS. Because it's so cool, the graphic. Alright, I bought some of this, and I want to see if this will work. I want to put it on the Raspberry Pi. But as you could tell, this thing do not have that much space. Okay, so I want to put the heatsink here, And before, I remember on the older model I put one here. I do not know if I need to put anything here, but I do need to put one here and one here and one back here. Okay, now the back is not critical. You could probably put now I do not know if by me putting this in I was able to shut the stuff. But the copper, the question to the answer is, what kind heatsink do I need to get? You want to get the one is the copper. Copper reduce the heat, you know, of the Raspberry Pi the best. Okay, so if you want to reduce the heat, you want to get something like, you know, a copper. Okay, the bigger it's better. Now this one is overkill because it is not going to work. Oh, you guys cannot see it. Let me lower this a little bit. Sorry. Okay. Now this one is too high. I love this one. Whenever I could use it, I want to use this because it reduces the heat a lot better than a lot of heat sink that I went into. And this one, the reason I couldn't use this one is because it's too long. Because when I put that, see, one thing bad about small screen is you always have to cover all the what they call the GPI board, and the GPIO board, the input output board, general purpose input output. I think that's what it stands for, GPI. And so therefore you cannot use any of those ports, because once that video card go on top, you cannot use it, you know, and it's hard to use it, and then it's hard to solder. You will have to solder stuff behind this, and they are very close, so it's hard to solder to it, and it's a pain in the neck. So anyway, let me go ahead and put this on. Now one thing I like about this is this thing already have a tape behind it, so I don't have to put one of this I forgot the exact name for this putty. Okay, and I didn't have to put this in it. So normally if you put a heat sink, you have to put this in to reduce the and then, you know, it also hold it too. So I cannot put the big one, so I'm going to use a little one. I'm going to put one over here, and I'm going to put one over here, and one in the back. Okay, I'll probably use the same size for the back. And then once you have this thing put on, you could also overclock it, overclock to a 1.5. And a lot of people will overclock it because it runs the Nintendo 64 much better with this thing on it, with overclocking it. Okay, so I'm gonna put one there, and I'm gonna put one in the back. Let me see. I'm trying to debate. I'll try to just keep that one because this one is pretty cool. It's hard to get those, and I think I did put it on the one in Sega Sega Genesis. I'm gonna have to tear that apart and put it on my Pi Cat, because I put a Pi Cat and it takes 2 to 3 hours to put it together, and I haven't put it together yet because I'm still looking at the video, trying to figure the video itself is an hour and a half long, and I need to put all the stuff together to build the case. So one thing bad about when you're building the iCat, everything is already, you have to put everything together. Okay, but one thing good about this one is everything is a plug and play. You don't have to put any screwdriver. I mean, only screwdriver you have to take is take the one out and put the 2 screw on the board. That's it. Everything else just plug and play. You just plug everything in, and that's it. Okay, the hard part now is trying to get the Raspberry configured. Now I'm thinking if I could get all the Raspberry and the SD card set up correctly, I could just burn the image and let you guys download it. That way you don't have to reconfigure anything. Everything will be pre-configured for you. You just download it and then plug it into your system, and away you go. So you don't have to do all that setup. I'm trying to get a small one so I could put it here, and I believe I did cut some little one on the side. And let me go get that. Alright, sorry about that. I bought a whole bunch of big copper, which is way too big, and then I wound up cutting it so that way I can use it. So I'm going to use those instead. See, I have cut some of those copper ones because I bought a whole bunch of this big one, and I measure and I cut it, and then I use this thing, the putty, put it here and then put the copper on top. So I think that's what I'll do. Okay, let me see if I have some already pre-cut. Let's see. I have one piece in here already pre-cut it already. So I'm gonna put that on top of that. And I have a whole bunch of little one of the silver one, but I prefer the copper better because they do a better job reducing the heat. And I might just go ahead and put both of them on top, one with copper, one the other one on top of the copper, because the copper is not that thick. See, it's pretty small, so I might just put this little one on top of that, put on top of this, and then put the powder thing on it, so make it more, reduce the heat, so it won't be so hot. Because once the pie is too hot, the system start to not operate correctly. It started to not function. So it's important that you have the heat sink put on. Now I do not know what this is. This is something new, and I don't know, do I need to put something on top or not? So I don't think you need to, because I haven't seen anybody that does it. This thing, once you get on your hand, it's not fun. You have to, I mean, it doesn't, it's kind of nasty to me. Cause it's dry on your hand and dry between your, between your line of your hand, the crack of your line, and then if you have to wash it good to get it off. Okay, so I got the copper, I got that putty thing on top. Oh, my finger is too thick on that corner. Okay, so just press it down, and there you go. All right, so it's good to go. Now, you're supposed to use the 5 volt and to have the fan running, but because the pin is using by this system board. Now, this system board have the 5 volt and grounded. Let me open another one and show you. So I'm thinking about solder this to this board, the fan. See, I have the fan here, and I'm thinking about solder the. If you look up close, there is a 5 volt and there is a ground. So if I use the 5 volt and ground, and there's also a backlit, and there's an on and off button too. So if I solder the wire to the 5V and ground it, I could have the fan spinning while this thing is running, and maybe put some hole in the back of the arcade, and then have the fan tape onto the hole so it will suck the air out, the heat out, you know. And then so I might do that later on with the project. But right now I want to update the Dreamcast so I could play the Dreamcast and demo the Dreamcast. I bought this. It's like it comes with a lot. I don't know how many. It's like only a couple $, and I got a whole set of this. And it's so big, and I wound up cutting it because it was too big. I didn't know it was that big. So alright. So the heat sinks go. I'm gonna put the screen back on and then run the software. I'm gonna plug the network directly to it, and that way it will download quicker. And then I'm gonna plug the regular mouse and keyboard, and I'm going to run the Dreamcast and let it finish running it. And once it finishes running it, then you're gonna put it back. So what I was trying to say was that if you get this car first and you get this, you could go ahead and unplug those wires and plug this. Remember the second video I did, or the third video, I plugged the wire directly to this and put it on to test the screen if working. Then you just press the mouse and the keyboard, so that once the screen is working, you want to go ahead and download the Dreamcast and or whatever pack you want to put on it. Make sure everything's running, and get everything running and get the screen working. And when it's working, only thing to do is just plug it in, and that's it. You don't have to do any more configuration. So you could get all that Raspberry issue and Raspberry patches stuff. Get it running, get it working first. Get the video card working first before you plug into this. Okay. So if you haven't checked my third video about this project, check it out. It's called 3 of 3. RetroArcade replacing the system board. 3 of 3. So look that up. And so today I'm just showing you that the MAME is working, and I'm going to download the Raspberry Pi, the Dreamcast emulator. It's called RetroArcade emulator. R as in rabbit, Reicast, C-A-S-T emulator. So I had to download that in order to play the Dreamcast, and then I have to reconfigure it. So once I get that all done, I will demo it, and then I'll give you the description step by step, and plus the video, so you could look at it. If you have further question, you could look at how the guy did it. Alright, thank you for watching. Hope this will help. This is where I put in the heatsink in, and my goal set is to solder two of my cable in here, and put a glue and tape it to the side, and then plug into the fan, and have the fan plug in behind this system. I'm going to draw a circle and draw a hole, and put the fan behind here and suck out the air, which is blowing the air out, and that way will cool the Raspberry Pi, so the system will not be so hot. So the main thing is heating up is the Raspberry Pi. Everything down here is fine. It doesn't have any problem with the issue with the heat, because it's just a joystick. Alright, thank you for watching. Give me a thumb up if you like it, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and it will notify you when I have new video coming out. And stay tuned, and we're gonna get this working. And I'll probably, after I get this finished, I will probably get 2 more, because I have 3 right now, and I want to know if this one using a 440 pin too. So if so, I'm gonna talk to the guy who developed the board for me on this one. Actually, he developed for everybody, not just for me. And then see if he can make special board for this one, because a lot of people buy this are not happy with it. Not this one, but the one with, now this one I am not happy because it's broken. Sometimes it come on, sometimes it doesn't. I let it run and plug the power in and let it run overnight, and a couple hours later, it's dead. The other one runs, still running when I woke up in the morning. So I find out that this is the bad one, so I put a tie web on it because I can't tell the difference, which one is bad, which one is not. And so right now I have 3 of this. This is the bad one. I currently have, I bought another one, so I have 2 of this, and I have the 2 of the black one. But the black one thing bad about the black one, just FYI, is that the emulator are not, it's like maybe 80% is good. It's not 100%. Not all the game run great. The sounds, not all the games sound great. Now for this one, it only focused on Nintendo. So this emulator